What it is, y'all, it's your old boy Pelican. I'm coming back today with another DanChro video. Unfortunately, our winter event just ended. It just went away, and so we are kind of in a lull period. Now, we should have a new event incoming tonight. When that does happen, I will cover that. I'm kind of expecting a New Year's event. We'll see what happens. We do know that they have actually talked on Twitter about potentially, and I will not call it the other thing, that potentially there are 2 brand new Festa units incoming. I will talk about those in kind of their own time in their own video, but that's not what I want to talk about today because we do have new events incoming. Make sure that you have gotten all your rewards out of the old event. If you go in here and you farm this event, go into Box Gotcha, and you'll be able to... I only got through round 12 personally, but, you know, that's still... Well, I mean, we almost, double farmed this bad boy? You got up to round 6, and then, you know, it be what it be. After that, it just kind of rotated round 6. And the nice part about this, we talked about it prior, is that in round 6, there's all of these items for the ability boards. And now, let's kind of go over to the ability board for a second. I'm really low on ability board items, unfortunately. It's one of the biggest problems I have right now in the game. But I just don't feel like we get enough ability board stuff. So if we go over here to the ability board, you can see I've got a few things, but not quite enough to finish this round out. However, if I go to unlock, you can click combine insufficient materials. And if you have enough of the lowest level items, so I got 128 of those D4s. If you didn't notice, and I've said this before on stream, and I don't know if I've mentioned it in a video. If you haven't noticed, that first one is a 4-sided die. The second one is a 6-sided die. My D&D players out there know what I'm talking about. Third one's an 8-sided die, and this is a 12-sided die, and the one above it is a D20, 20-sided die. If you haven't noticed that, that's exactly what these are. But these particular items, you can farm indefinitely in these types of events, those smallest level items. And when you can do combine, you can actually combine a bunch of those. And part of the reason that I'm completely out is because when I'm filling out these higher level events, a lot of times you can just... hundreds and hundreds of the small items, which are an indefinite farm, you can go ahead and take advantage of that. So if you didn't do that with this event, make sure you do it with the next event. I honestly plan to do a little bit more farming with this event than I had actually wound up doing, but I'd also done a lot of traveling, and it's happened obviously during the holidays and stuff like that, which makes it more difficult for me personally. But make sure you go to Box Gotcha. Make sure you have spent all of those items, because when it's gone, it's gone. You got basically 2 more days to take advantage of that. Okay? Now, on to the meat and potatoes of the main thing that we were going to talk about today, and that is, of course, these missions up here. We haven't talked about this in quite a bit of time, but that's because of this last one here. Challenge Battle Arena 200 times. I've gotten up to 199, so we can go do our daily Battle Arena over here. Let's go ahead and take it on real quick. If you haven't been following along in this series, you probably have a ton of these that you can do really easy, really quickly. So go check those missions. But the one prior to this is 150 runs, and this one is 200 runs. And I think the next one up is probably going to be 250 or so. We'll see here in a moment. Also, if you haven't been doing very well in the Battle Arena, make sure you go check out the video I dropped yesterday on this. But there is essentially all new, I guess, an all-new challenge, for lack of a better way to put it. Right now, speed teams have a major advantage. It's not the only way to win by a long shot, but speed teams get a massive advantage. If you go here to field effects, all damage, reduced damage inflicted by 50% for all units. Everybody gets a 50% damage reduction, okay? So if you wonder why your units, especially your attackers, aren't really hitting very hard, that's your reason. Speed roll. Critical rate is increased by 50%, so if you have good critical buffs on your units, you get lots of crits. When you land crits, they will do 500% more damage. Now, that is not to say, and I kind of didn't really sell this properly yesterday when I talked about it, that is not to say this is the only way to do it is with speed units. Because if you have a unit that has a big critical rate, you know, and is an attacker or is a defense unit or whatever, they will still hit like this. So essentially what this means is that when you land critical hits, you are landing damage. Now, speed units have a distinct advantage, but it's not the only way to do it. Any unit with a big critical rate or kind of like a critical caveat. Like a lot of times, so there's some scene cards that will allow poison units to hit harder, or units that are slowed get hit harder, or whatever. Anything that increases critical rate will increase the speed and the damage output, or speed at which you're completing this and your damage output. So make sure you're taking advantage of that. Increased damage inflicted by linked anime characters, 50%. I'll be honest with you. All that does is say, okay, if you've got Hagni, or you've got the Alfrigs, or Otaro. Otaro doesn't even count, does he? If you have one of those recent Festa units, they're back to base stats, but you're still not out damaging that 500%. So, you'll still other units will still out damage you fivefold. Case in points, we've got this Hagni here. Let's go ahead and do one of these real quick. I don't necessarily need to, but unless Hagni just lands a bunch of crits, we should annihilate him. So, he has a 100% buff, but any crits my team has will embarrass him, so to speak. So here we go. Yeah. He was the last man standing, but that really didn't mean much right there. So there you guys go. Ooh, 500 wins too. Nice. Very nice. So, that be that. Let's go check out our missions. Whenever this lets me. Boom. Boom. And I have all these here. Now we have our 200 Battle Arena wins. So we've got that. We've got our 10 more tickets there. So make sure you grab that. And we'll move on to board number 3 in this second set. And our next battle, 300. So that's going to take a while. Oof. So this one was 150. The one before that was 100. This one was 200 and immediately jumps up to 300. That might take a bit. So, check back, but we will be doing some more of these. We'll be collecting all these rewards. Obviously, I can collect all of these if I need to right now, but I'll do that as see fit. And there is a guaranteed 4-star ticket here at the end of this. So, make sure you stay on it. Like, comment, share. We've got a little bit incoming here, and I do have some gotchas that I've got to take advantage of. I haven't been doing these daily free 10 pulls, and those are going away here really, really soon. So check back. Plus, we do have the new Festa units coming out, and I will be talking about those because I have fairly strong opinions on that. Some of you guys have DM'd me and asked me about, the Festas and all that, and especially my old DanMemo people are asking me to compare it to DanMemo, and I've often talked about how I feel like it's an unfair comparison, but the comparison honestly must be made. So, new event incoming. Make sure you guys check back tonight. We'll talk about that. New gacha incoming sometime. That goes away on the 27th, so I'm expecting that here in a couple of days. Make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you again really soon for more DanChro.